There's semen in no department. Speed, power, chance, heart, none. Alright.
Spitting big facts and I'm cooking again.
There he go talking that boxing again.
Spitting big facts, cooking again.
There he go talking that boxing again.
Spitting big facts and I'm cooking again.
There he go talking that boxing again.
Spitting big facts, cooking again.
There he go talking that boxing again.
Spitting big facts and I'm cooking again.
There he go talking that boxing again.
Spitting big facts, cooking again.
There he go talking that boxing again.
Spitting big facts and I'm cooking again.
There he go talking that boxing again.
Spitting big facts and I'm cooking again.
There he go talking that boxing again.
Spitting big facts, cooking again.
There he go talking that boxing again.
Spitting big facts and I'm cooking again.
There he go talking that boxing again.
Talking big facts, I ain't tell no lies. Real talk like fight fan. Slap a troll with my right hand. Hit the like button, watch the replay. Want all the smoke like EJ. Fuck a troll what he say. I bomb a nigga like Wilder, boy. Spray the thing, make shower, boy. Tyson Fury, you a coward, boy. Box a nigga like ego. Make you bow your head, take one knee like Kell Brook and Tim Tebow. Since the time that Lester been black and eyes like Debo.
Like Debo?
And I'm a breadwinner like Kevin Gates. Smoke strong, make you levitate. On my evil spins, might meditate. Gon' watch me, you gon' steady hate. But I pimp the game like 7-8.
7-8.
And I'm a big stepper like Money Brown. I don't mess around, I don't fuck around. But I fuck around, not wear my crown.
Fuck around, not wear my crown.
Spitting big facts and I'm cooking again.
There he go talking that boxing again.
Spitting big facts, cooking again.
There he go talking that boxing again.
Spitting big facts and I'm cooking again.
There he go talking that boxing again.
Spitting big facts, cooking again.
There he go talking that boxing again.
Spitting big facts and I'm cooking again.
There he go talking that boxing again.
Spitting big facts and I'm cooking again.
There he go talking that boxing again.
Spitting big facts, cooking again.
There he go talking that boxing again.
Spitting big facts and I'm cooking again.
There he go talking that boxing again. Trio talk like fight fan. There he go talking that boxing again. This trio talk like fight fan. There he go talking that boxing again. Trio talk like fight fan. There he go talking that boxing again. There he go talking that boxing again. There he go talking that boxing again.
What it do? What it do? Y'all already know what it is. Y'all tuned in to another episode of Everything Boxing. There you go, talking that boxing again. Knockout Boxing 86 TV off in the building. What's happening with it? And when you come in the building, make sure that y'all go sub to Knockout Boxing 86 TV. Drop that link in the chat, Knockout. 50-0 TBE TMT Money Mayweather. What's happening with it? Yes, sir. Mr. Rez J, what's good with it? He said, sup with it, got something to watch while I'm on the grill. Are you on the grill? What you putting down? What you putting down? Smooth Groove Boxing, what's happening with it? Y'all you already know. And the Queen, Sheena, in the building early today. What's going on, Sheena? So, yeah, y'all hit that like button as you come in the building because, you know, they don't be sending notifications out. So hit the like button. Make sure, you know, they at least get some of my notifications out. Sheldon Holmes, what's happening with it? What's good with it? Yeah. And we got a lot to talk about, a lot to cook on today, a lot to talk about. You know, a lot going on in boxing, and we gonna cook on it. We gonna cook on it. And before we even start cooking, now y'all see how the majority of the Mexican fan base, how they moving and how they riding. You know what I'm saying? Because I see it for myself now. And we're going to talk about that too later on in the show. We're going to talk about that too later on in the show. But like I said, hit the like button. And yeah, hit that like button. We got football starting up this I can't wait. Football season start kickoff Thursday. The Cowboys, my Cowboys, I'm a Cowboys fan, been my whole life, you know. I'm trying to shy away from them, but you know, you gotta kind of stick with the squad that you was raised on. Cowboys against the Bucks. The Bucks gonna tear their ass up. Knockout boxing 86 TV. Yeah, and I'm talking to you. The Bucks is gonna tear the Cowboys ass up. You know what I'm saying? They ain't it. You know what I'm saying? We not it. We talk a good game, but that's all we do. And I'm a realistic Cowboy fan. I'm not on that, we gonna win the Super Bowl every year. No, get off. If you a Dallas Cowboys fan, cut that bullshit out. Cut it out. It's like the definition of insanity is doing the same shit over and over again. And my Dallas Cowboys fan, y'all do this shit every fucking year. You don't have the team. We do not have the team to win a Super Bowl. We don't have a team to make it near a Super Bowl. We don't have a team to make it near an NFC championship, let alone a Super Bowl. The best thing that the Cowboys can do, I don't even know if they can do that, is maybe win one playoff game, depending on who they play. I'm here to tell y'all, Cowboys fans, y'all need to start being realistic. Because some of y'all fans, I've been a fan much longer than you were. I've been a fan since before some of y'all was even born. But check it out. It's time to let it go. As far, and I'm not saying let your team go. I'm saying like just start thinking realistic. It ain't there. Terry Smoot, what's happening with it? Harry Jones Jr., what's good with it? Wayne Jr. says, Cowboys gonna cover that spread, bro. Just watch. The only spread the Cowboys is finna cover come Thursday is a motherfucking sandwich spread. Some goddamn spread on the sandwich. Other than that, they ain't covering they not covering shit. The Cowboys is finna get their ass kicked. You think that you can sit, first of all, you got a quarterback that ain't played in almost a year. You think he just gonna come out and look like fucking Superman against the, let's keep it 100. You think he gonna come out against the Bucks, right? We're talking about the Bucks that got some of the best talent on defense in the whole NFL on their squad, right? Now you got a man in Dak Prescott ain't thrown one preseason pass. He needed it more than anybody. He needed reps more than anybody because if you go, the man is in his last, I think his last 12 games, he like 5 and I think he like 5. He only got 5 wins in his last 12 games, right? Now, if you go look at the stats against teams that are that have a good defense, let's keep it 100. Against teams that have a good or decent defense, Dak Prescott never performs. So y'all delusional fans, because I'm a Cowboys fan, but I'm not delusional. And I'm talking to all y'all, right? So you delusional fans, you think that Dak Prescott, right, is going to all of a sudden be able to be way better than he was before he left after having an injury like he did and not throwing a pass in the preseason and just go against the Super Bowl champions that got a hell of a defense, fast linebackers, they all over the field. And just go out there and just look spectacular. That's what y'all think, right? Man, get fucking real. Get real. Come on now. Let's stop. See, a lot of y'all, what I'm saying, that's how you really, really think deep down inside. But see, you just won't say it. You holding it in is not going to change nothing. I'm going to say it. I'm telling y'all, I was just like all of y'all. For years, all the way up until probably like the 2018 or 2018-19 season, somewhere around there. Then I just, I saw the tunnel at the end of the light. I said, you know what? You got to stop being delusional. I was the fan that wouldn't talk to you for 2 days if we lost because I was, man, come on. Harry Jones Jr. says, I agree that all the starters need more reps. I feel they're going to be rusty on Thursday. And they're going to be rusty on Thursday. They're going to be rusty when they play the Giants. And like I said, I just don't. I know a lot of fans believe in Dak Prescott, right? Because, he threw for this many yards before he got hurt and this, and that. Y'all have to look at the scenarios where he was doing what he was doing in. You got to look at those scenarios. Dak Prescott was doing it in fucking games that they was already behind 20 points, 23 points. Pickup, you know what I'm saying? Garbage yards. You never seen, name me one game, right? Within the past couple years that you've seen Dak Prescott play a great game against a defense that was good. Name me one game. I'll wait. That's my trivia question to anybody in here. Name me one game, if you're a Dallas Cowboys fan, that Dak Prescott played very well against, and it was a good defense. I'm not talking about they had a good defense the year before and lost everybody. I'm talking about had a good defense and he played good against. He showed out against. And I'll wait. EJ, what's happening with it, man? Salute. DP Rocker, what's good with it? Knockout. That was more aimed towards knockout boxing. My man, Knockout Boxing 86 TV. Go ahead and let me know, Knockout. Oh, yes. Smooth Groove Boxing. What's happening with it? You already know how these haters do. You know what I'm saying? You know how they do. They sit up and wait for your channel to come on just so they can lurk in the background and hit the dislike button. Hey, you know what I'm saying? Go ahead and punch it again. Shit. Mike Rom says, let's go Vikings. They ain't going to be shit neither. Wayne Jr. says, Niners all day. I already got my bets in. Yeah, man, the Niners might do something this year. They might look good. They looking good. I like their squad if they can stay healthy. Knockout Boxer 86 TV says, nope. I say my objectivity for boxing. I'm with Cowboys all day. We are winning the Super Bowl this year. And see, that's the thing. Knockout Boxing, he don't believe that shit himself. It's nothing that the Cowboys can do or that nobody can say to make Knockout Boxing believe the words that he just said himself. He don't believe that shit. It sounds good to him, but he don't believe it. You know what I'm saying? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sheena says, go Chiefs. Man, Sheena, you wasn't no Chiefs fan until they started winning. Sheena, you know you wasn't no Chiefs fan until they started winning. Let me see. So, Terry Smoot, chill, bro. Chill. This is my show. We're going to get on the boxing when we get on the boxing. Like I said, we're going to come chill, man. Have some patience. That, you ain't got that's your biggest problem in life right now. I can tell, Terry Smoot Jr. One of the biggest keys you can have in life overall is patience. That's one of your biggest problems in life. I don't even know you like that, but I know that's one of your biggest problems in life. One of the biggest things you need to focus on is patience because you showing you don't got none. Chill out. We're going to talk about boxing. Mike Ron said, I'm going to remember what you said about the Vikings. I won't forget. You ain't going to forget, but you're going to pretend that you forgot when they go through the season, they don't do shit. You're going to pretend on that. Brown on boxing, he said Green Bay all day. What's happening with it? So this weekend, we ain't have a lot of boxing going on this weekend. You know what I'm saying? We didn't have a lot of boxing going on this weekend, but we did have some boxing. You know what I'm saying? We had Katie Taylor. I kind of was paying attention to her fight a little bit, but I wasn't really too intrigued into the fight. So I can't really give y'all a breakdown because they keep on putting her in the ring with women that you know what I'm saying, these women that she's like a negative 1,000 odds to beat them and shit, you know, mismatches. I'm not really intrigued into it, right? The fight that I was wanting to see, the two fights, was Conor Benn. So Conor Benn and Adrian Granados. So we're gonna talk about that fight real quick first. Conor Benn, overall, he looked good. You know, Adrian Granados, he came to fight. You know, Adrian Granados then fought everybody from Sean Porter to Adrian Bronner to Danny Garcia. You know, Danny Garcia was the only fighter to stop Adrian Granados. So I wanted to see what Conor Benn could do against Adrian Granados. You know, that's something that I wanted to see. And Conor Benn, you know, like I said, he looked good, but I did notice, right, that if you're able to move a lot and punch while you're moving, you know what I'm saying, punch on your back foot and give angles, Conor Benn, you're able to give him problems, right? Confuse him a little bit, right? Because Granados was getting shit off. Granados was moving. He was moving a lot, but see, the thing with Granados is he don't have no punching power, and so he never could present Conor Benn no real threat. You know what I'm saying? Even when he was moving angles and throwing shots, you know, it wasn't no shots that was there that could hurt Conor Benn. So Conor Benn continued to come forward, continued to try to cut off the ring. But I did see that he was getting confused. He was getting confused, and I can see somebody that, you know, a more skilled level fighter than Adrian Granados, you know, that can present different movement and move with different angles. They can give Conor Benn a lot of trouble. Like, from what I saw, Conor Benn is not fucking with Jerron Boots Ennis. He's just not. Jerron Boots Ennis will beat the dog shit out of Conor Benn. But I like Conor Benn. Don't get me wrong. But I just noticed some things about him that I said, okay. Now I really got to see what type of things, you know, could present him a problem, you know, down the line. And yeah, he's still getting better. He's still learning. But you know, when we spoke about Conor Benn against Sean Porter, with Sean Porter's footwork, that'll be a disaster for Conor Benn. He'll cause Conor Benn all type of trouble. Now Adrian Bronner, which I don't see that fight happening. Like, it's real hard for me to see them throwing Adrian Bronner in the ring with Conor Benn or even anybody that's near that level, because they know he's not beating them. There's no chance. Like, I bet my house that Adrian Bronner can't beat Conor Benn or nobody on that level no more. But now Adrian Bronner, Conor Benn to beat the shit out of Adrian Bronner. Adrian Bronner will probably fight good enough to survive. Yeah, well, he not gonna knock AB out. I'll say that. And that's another thing that Conor Benn showed me. Like, you know, if you can move and you can fight to survive, like, you know, he not gonna be able to get you up out of there. So he definitely wouldn't be able to stop Adrian Bronner, but he would beat Adrian Bronner fairly easy, because Adrian Bronner, he just don't throw no punches. And truthfully, I don't think that Adrian Bronner will ever get himself in the type of shape that he would need to be in to be able to, you know, throw a lot of punches, throw the amount of punches that he was able to throw against, what was it, Jesse Vargas, back when he was working with Kevin Cunningham. You know what I'm saying? I now all of the poison and all of the just horrible damage that he's done to his body, I don't think that Adrian Bronner will ever be able to get back in that type of shape to be able to, you know, give a decent output, right? A decent output work rate. But yeah, I seen Conor Benn, salute to him. He looked good, but I did see some flaws that can, you know, if he doesn't continue to process and get better at a fast pace, and he hop in the ring with one of these guys, I see, you know, some things that's gonna basically give him a lot of problems and ultimately lead him into taking his first L. Knockout Boxing 86 TV says Ben wants no smoke with Boots, Ortiz, or even Stanionis. I would like to see him against a Stanionis because Stanionis is a fighter that's more gonna be stationary. I think that's a better matchup for Conor Ben. Ortiz and Boots, yeah, he not fucking with them. Knockout says they all beat him in his opinion. He says he is the number 4 prospect at welterweight right now. And I'm pretty sure, Knockout, some of the things that I'm saying in Conor Ben, I'm pretty sure that you were able to see the same things in the fight against Adrian Granados yourself. Santos, what's happening with it? Santos, salute. He says, I feel Conor Ben on the same skill level as Adrian Brunner. Nah, Conor Ben is above Adrian Brunner now. Like Adrian Brunner is to me, that's my opinion. Right now, Adrian Brunner is at the bottom of the bucket list. Adrian Brunner is probably a C- fighter right now. You know what I'm saying? Adrian Brunner, to me, I would rate him about a C- fighter. And that's being honest. Like I don't even think AB right now, he couldn't beat Granados. AB could not beat Adrian Granados right now. And I'll be willing to bet money on it. Adrian Granados moves too much for AB. And Adrian Granados, he can throw a lot of punches. And that's AB's kryptonite. AB ain't finna, come on now. They fought already, right? They fought already. And when they fought, AB was in a lot better shape than he is now. Right? Younger than he is now. And when they fought, a lot of people thought that, Granados should have got the victory against him. I thought that AB edged it out, but it was a close fight. Now, what would that fight look like now? He's not on Granados' level as of right now. Knockout said, hell yeah, I'm with you, bro. If Granados had any power, that fight would have looked different for sure. Yeah, real talk. So that was for that fight. So salute to my man Conor Ben. I like him. I'm looking forward to seeing more of Conor Ben. And then the main event is short. I can't really, we saw what happened in the Mauricio Lara versus Josh Warrington fight. I had picked Mauricio Lara to beat Josh Warrington, and I believe strongly that he was going to beat Josh Warrington. And that fight started playing out just like I said it was going to play out in the beginning. Josh Warrington came out strong, just like he did in the first fight. Mauricio Lara, he never backed down. He was getting hit with some shit. And I told you, I said, Lara is going to get hit with some big shots. I told y'all, I said, because he don't have no defense at all. I said, he don't get his head off the line. He don't have no defense. I said, so you're going to see him come out. He's going to get hit with some big shots, but he's going to continue to keep coming forward. He's going to hit Josh Warrington. He's going to be going to the body of Josh Warrington, the head. I said, but in the beginning, Josh Warrington is going to look better. I said, but that don't matter. I said, because if you go watch the first fight, how it played out, he kept coming, and I'm talking about Lara. He kept coming, and Joshua Warrington started wearing down. He started getting hit with bigger and bigger shots as the fight went on, and that's how the second fight started playing out. And I might be wrong, but I have to go see the replay. I think Josh Warrington was leaning in with his head and trying to cut. I think he was trying to cut Lara on purpose. For some reason, I get the feeling that he was trying to cut Lara on purpose. Now, he didn't want to cut him to where the fight was going to end. I think that he tried to cut him on purpose. He leaned in with his head. That way he could get an advantage in the fight because, fighters got to fight different once they suffer a cut. So for some reason, I think he did it on purpose. I think he was trying to get a competitive edge in the fight. I don't think that he was fully confident that he could beat Lara because he's seen it. He was hitting Lara with everything off the rip, and Lara kept coming, and he was smiling at Josh Warrington. I think Josh Warrington tried to do it to get a competitive edge, but he didn't expect that the cut was gonna, you know what I'm saying, be that bad to where they was gonna have to end the fight. I think he did it on purpose, you know. And I think now though, people know Mauricio Lara. His name is on the map. Whether he gets a rematch with Josh Warrington or whether he goes on to fight anybody else, I think you put his name on the map and people know that he's going to be a problem down the line. So, I mean, that fight, it ended in a no contest, you know, from the headbutt. And that's just what it is. You know, it ain't really nothing else I could really say about it. But it was playing out to me and looking just like the first fight besides the cut. Lee Adams says he did it on purpose. He says he was grabbing Laura and throwing their heads together. Yeah, I think he did it on purpose, man. Santos says he says he looked like his eye was in the he says he looked like his eye was in a come out of his skull. I think he meant he looked like his eye was gonna come out his skull with that cut. That head clash was a killer. Yeah, and I think you're doing it on purpose, bro. Brown Foster Show says it's been a minute. Good to see you. You still talking boxing. Again, Laura been a dog. Salute to you. Terry Smoot Jr. says Warrington didn't want to go out like he did last time. I feel you, man. You can feel the presence of somebody in the ring, especially when you landing your biggest shots early and they just kind of continue to come forward. And then you start having flashbacks. Like I said, Warrington got knocked out cold and he got beat up in that fight. You know what I'm saying? He took a lot of punishment in that fight that they had in February. Once you in that ring, bro, and you come out and you start hitting him with your biggest shots early, and you look and you see that man just continue to come forward and you laughing, Josh Warrington started having flashbacks of that fucking beating that he had taken. You know what I'm saying? He was having flashbacks. And he knew, just like Mike Tyson did when he fought Evander Holyfield the second time, okay, this might start, you know what I'm saying? I got 9 more rounds with this fool. Man, fuck that. I'm finna cut him, and then once I cut him, then I got the advantage. He got to worry about blood in his eye and everything. John Kramer, what's happening with it? Edison, what's happening with it? Yeah, man, we're gonna talk about that. So that was it for this weekend, you know. And so yeah. So now let me get straight into this. Let me get straight into this news about Vada, because Vada has come out and they spoke on, you know, the whole situation with Oscar Valdez, right? Being able to get away with cheating, taking a banned substance, right? He spoke on it, right? Being able to get away with cheating, taking a banned substance, and able to keep his title, able to fight after Vada strictly, you know, said, yeah, you failed your A and your B sample, right? That's what they have Vada testing for, to catch these guys cheating. And if they get caught cheating, they supposed to get stripped, and they supposed to lose their fight, and they supposed to get suspended. But we see now that they make rules according to who you are. Now, Vada, they came out and they spoke about and they spoke up on it, right? Vada spoke on it. We had more fighters speak on it. And you know, the world of boxing is speaking on it, right? Also, right? So let me explain. Let me go ahead and pull up. First, I'm gonna tell you what Josh Taylor said about it, right? Josh Taylor, he had something to say about it. Josh Taylor, the undisputed, right, 140-pound champion, he says, dirty fighters from the same camp getting caught out again using PEDs, and again, nothing done about it. Absolutely disgusting. This should be a lifetime ban for fighters and team. Boxing is dangerous enough without this happening. Money talks. Dirty. It says hashtag dirty, hashtag cheaters, hashtag life ban. Now, he let you know straight out how he feel about it. He feels that they've been doing it in the camp, and a lot of people, right? A lot of people. Hold on. A lot of people feel that way. A lot of these fighters are coming out and speaking on it, but we've been wanting to know what Vada had to say about this whole situation, right? We wanted to know what Vada, what they take on the whole situation is. So this is what Vada had to say. Vada says, most fighters competing in U.S. commissions do no drug testing at all. Less than a handful do any out-of-competition testing. Most have never used WADA accredited lab. Most have never tested for EPO. And EPO is EPO, right? Is if you guys are familiar with what Lance Armstrong was taking, and he won like 9 or 10 in a row Tour de France, right? It's something that you put, it goes in your bloodstream. You only can detect EPO in your bloodstream, right? But it makes you stronger, right? It doesn't build your physique. It makes you stronger, and it makes you to where you just fucking never get tired. It's some shit that they give horses, right? It's shit that they give thoroughbred horses, like them horses that race. You know what I'm saying? They'll shoot them up with EPO. And it's just, you basically superhuman. EPO is what Floyd Mayweather accused, what Floyd Mayweather and Jeff Mayweather and Roger Mayweather and all of them was accusing Manny Pacquiao of taking at the time, right? Because EPO, if you piss, you can't detect EPO. You only can detect it in your bloodstream. So they were, back then when all that stuff with Manny Pacquiao Mayweather was going on, they was basically saying that they thought that he was on EPO. And that's why he refused to take the drug test. He had a lot of the things that EPO give you. You know, EPO, when you're on EPO, you're able to come out and have the same power, energy, everything in the first round that you do in the last round. And that's how Manny Pacquiao looked. So they suspected him to be on EPO. That's why Lance Armstrong, he won all those Tour de France's, and he just fucking murdered everybody for years and years and years. He won like 9 or 10 straight because them dudes was getting tired, if you know about the Tour de France, but he was just able to never get tired. He was able to stay strong throughout the whole race. And, you know, he destroyed the field. And, yeah, he was on EPO. So, yeah, it changed his whole athletic structure about him. So that's what EPO is. So they say most have never tested for EPO or HGH. And I'm pretty sure most people know what HGH, human growth hormones. And they said it's a travesty for fighters who routinely risk their lives. So they're telling you right now, they said less than a handful do any out of competition testing, and most have never used WADA accredited lab. Most never test for EPO or HGH. That lets you know about boxing right now. So a lot of your favorite fighters, they not even testing for the shit that they really needed to be tested for, right? Yeah, Santos, it gives you EPO, gonna give you endurance gonna give you endurance like a fucking cheetah. You ain't never gonna get tired, really. So let's go ahead and move on. What else the Vada had to say, right? Vada, then they go on to say, would be happy to dissolve our testing program and concentrate on education once U.S. Commission met the challenge, still waiting after 10 years, right? They said they still waiting on the U.S. Commissions, right? For 10 years they've been waiting. Would be happy to dissolve our testing program and concentrate on education once U.S. Commission, right, met the challenge. Still waiting after 10 years. They also go on to say it's embarrassment and degrading to fighters how little PED testing is done by U.S. commissions. Vada testing has always been fighter driven by those who want clean sport. Right? Hopefully, commission wake up. National government oversight sorely needed. They telling you like it ain't nobody oversees boxing. They can do whatever they want, and they said that it needs to be governed because these promoters and everybody, they do what they want in boxing. You're not even getting tested. They said it's only a handful of fighters, right, that get tested for things like EPO and HGH. And those are the biggest, like that's like some of the biggest drugs that you could take being an athlete, EPO and HGH. They say only a handful of fighters are getting tested for this shit. And though salute with it. Salute to you, man, in that super chat coming through, showing love and support. I appreciate it. Now, let me see what else. It says, Vada testing was created to prompt U.S. commissions to implement drug testing in and out of comp and educate commissions and fighters. Most still do little or none, right? They're telling you they don't even really do it, right? Adopting a specific prohibited list means nothing if no testing is done. So Vada has come out and they told you everything you need to know about boxing and drug testing. Vada feels some type of way that they put, right? That they put this, what is it, amphetamine or whatever, however you say it, right? They put that on the ban list, right? They have it on the ban list for a reason. But fighters like Oscar Valdez, because he got his Mexican people, he has his Mexican people backing him. Everybody that's overseeing that fight is his people. They like, don't worry about it. We're going to cover it up for you. Now, that ain't all, right? Bill Romanowski. If people don't know who Bill Romanowski is, he is a very accomplished football player. He played with the Denver Broncos, Shannon Sharp. He was in the NFL for years. He was a fucking beast, right? But Bill Romanowski was a football player that took every drug, every steroid you can think of, and he know about every drug, right? You see what I'm saying? This is some real shit. Bill Romanowski, he was a certified drug cheat. And he comes out and he tells you, this is what he says about Fentermine, right? Fentermine. That's how you say it, I think. Fentermine or whatever. That's the drug that Oscar Valdez got popped on. Because see, what Oscar Valdez's people, and I'm going to get into that, right? What they doing is they're trying to basically do everything they can to cover this up, to deflect, act like that it's nothing wrong with what he took. Oh, it's just a diuretic. It's just a diuretic, you know, right? That's what they want you to believe, that it gives him no type of advantage, that it's just a diuretic. It doesn't do anything for him, right? That's a fucking lie. This is what Bill Romanowski had to say about the Fentermine that was found in Oscar Valdez's system. He says, what did you think Fentermine was going to do for you? This is what Bill Romanowski, somebody that's taking Fentermine somebody that's taking it, right? It is a banned substance, Santos. How are you going to say it's not a banned substance when Vada has it on a list as a banned substance? What you mean it ain't a ban? Are you just making up your own rules? It's a banned substance. Now, this is what Bill Romanowski has to say about somebody that took it. He says, it gave me the sense that I could run through a brick wall if I had to. You just knew if you took that, boom, that was going to get you right for the game. It gave me a sense that I could run through a brick wall, right? If I had to run through a brick wall, it gave me a sense that I could do it. You just knew that if you took it, right, boom, that was gonna get you right for the game. He says it knew it was gonna put you on a whole nother level. You knew if you took it, it was gonna put you on a whole nother level and get you right for the game. Y'all hear my like button? Let me see where these likes is at, because I ain't, you know what I'm saying? I don't have to. I like, if y'all can't hit the like button, I can't do the show. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Okay. Yeah, y'all hit the like button. Make sure that y'all hit the like button. Okay, so he's telling you right up, somebody that's was a great NFL player but took every PED that you can think of, right? He told you straight up and down, like, hey, that shit made me feel like I could run through a brick wall. When I took that before a game, I knew that I was going to be, you know what I'm saying, on that level I needed to be. So you're telling me that, oh, this wasn't going to have no type of effect on Oscar Valdez. It was just going to basically just make him lose weight, if anything. And he found it, he had it in tea. That's a fucking lie. He got in front of the camera and let you know, trying to say that it was in his tea. He lied to you, but then I hear his people talking about, oh, he said it was in tea, so I believe him. I believe him. The fuck did you think he was going to do? Get on camera and tell you, you know what? I took it. You know what I'm saying? What the fuck did you think he was going to do? Oh, he said he said he never would take PED, so I believe him. Yeah, okay. Okay. And then, right, Vada has just come out and told you what they said, right? In so many words, they're letting you know, yeah, he could have been taking this because shit, he probably wasn't testing before. In the little piss test that he was taking before, they wasn't testing for that. I just went down what Vada had to say about the whole situation. You dig what I'm saying? And then they trying to make it like, oh, it won't have no effect. What the fuck you mean it won't have no effect? Bill Romanowski just told you when he would take that shit before a football game and make him feel like he can run through a brick wall. So what you think is going to do when he got that shit in his system going into a boxing match? It helps your endurance. It helps you cut weight, all of that. And it puts you on a whole nother level. Obviously, if this man take that shit and go into a football game and he feel like he can run through a brick wall, y'all telling me this is something that shouldn't be banned in boxing? They have it banned for a reason, right? And that's exactly the reason they have it banned. How long has Oscar been using Vada? Well, if you was in here and you just heard me read off what Vada told you about drug testing, obviously he hadn't been using it long. He had to use it this camp because he was a WBC champion. Before that, he wasn't a WBC champion. So miss me with that fuck shit you talking about right now. Straight up. Terry Smooth says Bill Romanowski is a former linebacker who knows about this. Exactly. What do you think? What does Bill Romanowski have to gain by saying what he said? Bill Romanowski probably could give two fucks about boxing and don't even know who Oscar Valdez is. So what does Bill Romanowski have to gain by saying what he said when asked about the drug, something that he's taken in the past? Boss man hit the nail on the head. Only the Mexicans keep crying about it's not banned. And I'm going to get into that shit because I had an experience that let me know, right, just what it is in these boxing YouTube streets and in boxing, period. Sheena says, no wonder why he beat the shit out of Burchell. And I don't doubt for 1 second that he had that shit in his system when he fought Burchell. Because like I said, that fight shocked me. I never had seen Oscar Valdez look like that before. Real talk. Oscar Valdez went from a fighter that was barely, you know what I'm saying? He would get knockouts sometimes, but he was barely edging opponents, right? He was barely edging opponents. And he was getting the shit beat out of him a lot of times while doing it. And to do what he did to Burchell, and I don't doubt 1 second that he had that shit in his system. So let's talk about, let's talk about his fan base, and it's the Mexican fan base. I'm not going to sugarcoat shit, right? Because if you watch me, right, I always keep it down the middle, right? If it's a black fighter and they do some fuck shit, I'm the first one to come on and get on their helmet. If it's a Mexican fighter and they do some fuck shit, I'm the first one to come on and get on their helmet. If it's a white fighter, I do the same thing, right? So what I'm saying by this is I always kept it boxing. I talk boxing for what it was. If I like a fighter, whether you Mexican, white, or whatever you are, I'm going to speak on you. I'm going to speak on you. You right? Whether if I like you, I'm going to speak on you. Good. If you fuck up, I'm going to speak on you and hold you accountable for what you do. What I've noticed with this Oscar Valdez situation, right? And I gave myself a chance to really to see, like, right? Because I hear other people saying shit, but truthfully, I got like channels that I stick to that I watch. You know what I'm saying? If it's not these certain channels that I watch, I really don't know what be going on. Like, I know, like, you know what I'm saying? And then I'm going to talk about the Mexican fan base, and I'm going to talk about Mexican people right now. Now, some Mexican, and I'm not talking about all, because some of y'all solid, right? Some of y'all not on that racist shit. You solid, you know what I'm saying? You gonna ride for your people, but you gonna keep it 100 at the same time, right? And not every Mexican is on the racist shit, right? But I went and see it for myself. The majority of these Mexican fans is on some all-out racist shit. They gonna ride with their fighters, and they don't like fucking black people, and they don't like black channels, period. I seen that shit for myself, so recently I had an experience where I'm like, I want to see what, because I continue to hear what the channels that I listen to every day, they outtake on what's going on this whole, thing with Oscar Valdez, and then I hear people, in they chat saying like, oh, how the Mexican people ride and how they move. And I hear that shit, but I'm like, I ain't paying attention to it because I just focus on the channels that I like to watch, right? So I'm like, let me get another perspective from, a different type of fan base. Let me see what the Mexican fan base is saying about this situation. So I go to a channel, right? It's a Hispanic dude. He got a channel. I'm not going to say his name, right? So I go over there. And I'm like, I want to hear what they're saying. So I'm reading in the comments and I see like, you know, all of them are making excuses like it's okay for Oscar Valdez to do what he did. Like, right? All of them making excuses, right? So he starts dropping links. He like, I'm gonna drop links and y'all, whoever can get on the panel, right? So I'm like, okay, let me sit back and let me watch. Let me see what they gotta say. Because I'm like, maybe all of them don't feel the same way. You know, let me see what they saying, right? So I go and I'm in the background. I'm watching the channel. I'm watching the dude pop up on camera, the first dude that grabbed a link. And the first thing he starts doing is basically talking about, oh, you know, what he took shouldn't be on the ban list. It doesn't, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't do anything. And he's taking up for Oscar Valdez. He's taking up for him. And I'm like, okay, cool. I'm still listening. And then he gets to in these black race baiting channels and these black race baiting channels, they want to, you know what I'm saying, they want to make you believe this, and these black race baiting channels, and they want to make you believe this and that. And you know, and these people that would never fucking watch Oscar Valdez and would never pay to see Oscar Valdez and don't give a fuck about Oscar Valdez and you know, these race baiting black channels and I said, damn. And I'm like, damn. All he had to come in is give his take on, you know what I'm saying, what he thought about what's going on with Oscar Valdez. But the first thing he started doing, and these black channels, like the man didn't ask you that. So I'm like, okay, let me hop on the panel, right? And let me give my take of how I feel about it, because, you know what I'm saying, he's sitting there talking about in these, you know what I'm saying, these black channels that didn't fucking like Oscar Valdez in the first place and all of that. And I'm like, this dude don't know what the fuck he talking about, because I was actually going to go to the Oscar Valdez fight and support the fight. You know what I'm saying? I was like, shit, I actually like Oscar Valdez, especially when he proved me wrong and beat Burchell. Like, I think he an exciting fighter. I'm going to go to the fight and support that shit. So how the fuck is he going to try to say, oh, these black channels that you don't know what the fuck everybody is watching or who they rooting for, right? So I'm like, let me go on, right? And let me say what I have to say. So I go on and you know, I said, look, man, I feel that he shouldn't be able to fight, right? Because everybody else that tests positive, you know what I'm saying, the rules are there. It's on the banned substance list. And so I just give my take, you know. I give my take. Like, I don't think, like, just when Big Baby Miller got caught, they made him sit out and everybody else, like, nah, I don't think that he should be fighting. It's fucked up because of, you know what I'm saying, the tribe that he's fighting under, that's letting him go on. It's all about money, right? It's all about money, and they're moving accordingly, right? Because according to who he is, right? So I said, I said, fuck you, Jay Triller, fuck your mama, fuck your people, and fuck what you think about what I'm saying. How about that? And you can get the fuck up out of here and go to another channel with that bullshit. You dig what I'm saying? Straight up. So, like I was saying, right? So I just gave my honest opinion, right? I didn't put race involved. I didn't say shit. I just gave my own opinion, and I said, you know, and I would feel the same way if it was any other fighter. Straight up, I just gave my own opinion, right? So I'm on a Mexican show, right? He cool. I had no problem. I don't have no beef with that dude, right? The dude that had the show, I don't have no beef with him. He wasn't really on no racist shit like that, right? But everybody in his fucking comment section was. All them motherfuckers on the panel was that grabbed a link, right? And I just left it at that, right? Soon as I get to talking, motherfuckers come in with just, oh, these fucking black channels and you fucking black channels and black this and you black people this and oh yeah, now you want to have a fucking opinion when it's a Mexican fighter, but you didn't say, you don't, it's Tank Davis beat his wife, How do you feel about Tank Davis beating his girlfriend and the Charlos beating their girlfriend? And I'm like, what? I said, the fuck does Tank Davis and the Charlos? We talking about Oscar? Yeah, you fucking yeah, and then they just you know what I'm saying? They just turned it into a whole fucking race thing, right? And I said, you motherfuckers, and right there, and I see what it is. I see what everybody else been talking about, but I don't pay attention because I don't go to none of them channels. You dig what I'm saying? I very rarely go to some of them channels. So this shit let me see that they don't fuck with us, period. They don't fuck with us. They're going to ride with their people 150%. They don't give a fuck what they people do. They going to ride with their people to the core. So I'm telling you right now, because I always been on some, if I like a fighter, I like a fighter. I'm going to ride with him. No matter what color he is, you know, everybody know. I fuck with Vasil Lomachenko heavy. I fuck with Canelo Alvarez heavy. You know what I'm saying? Even though I'm riding with Caleb Plant and a lot of other Mexican fighters, I fucked with. I ain't never been on that type of shit. But from now on, fuck how you feel about it. If it's a Mexican fighter going up against a black fighter, I'm riding with the black fighter. I don't give a fuck who he is. You can feel how you feel about it. I'm telling you right now, because I see they don't like us and they don't like our fighters. The whole time, all they was doing is bashing black fighters. And I'm like, this don't got nothing to do, to me, it didn't have nothing to do with Oscar Valdez being a Mexican fighter. Everybody know I get on whatever fighter, it don't matter, what color they are, if they doing some fuck shit. So now, right, if I see a black fighter get banned for some shit, I don't know what y'all talking about. Especially if he going up against another Mexican fighter, I don't know what y'all I'm gonna do just like they do. I don't do and I'm not saying in Santos, if for y'all in here that's Hispanic or Mexican, whatever, right? I'm not pointing the finger at everybody, but when I went on that channel, I see that the majority, right? I already knew this, but it just takes for me to have to see that shit, right, with my own eyes. I was there. That shit, everybody in there was racist when they seen a black man hop on the panel. That shit was like a Mexican KKK rally. Straight up and down. I said, these motherfuckers ain't no different from the motherfuckers that got white sheets over their head, right? And from that point, I knew what it was. So you ain't finna hear me fucking, oh, Canelo Alvarez this and Canelo, fuck all that. Nah, not no more. Because they not finna do it for one of our fighters. And like I said, it ain't all of them, but it's the majority. I say 95% of them, nah. Because like I said, there was a lot of people on that show. It was a lot of them in that chat. And all of them was sticking to the code. They all was on the same shit. You dig what I'm saying? They was all on that same shit, and they was anti-black in that whole shit. And like I said, the dude that was running the channel, he wasn't on that shit. But some people might say, well, he shouldn't let that shit go on his show. I'm not here to say or to tell that man what to let go on his show. You dig what I'm saying? That's his show. If that's how, you know what I'm saying, shit, if that's how he let people get down on his show, well, it is what it is. I didn't take that and look at him no different type of way. It was just, you know, it's just what it is. But it's gonna be what it is right here. So if you want, and the thing is like when I go to Blue Blood Sports TV, I don't hear Blue Blood Sports, all Mexicans and these Mexican channels and I don't hear him saying that shit, right? When I go to BFTV show, I don't hear him, all these Mexican fighters and these Mexican I hear him getting on everybody, whether they Mexican, white, or black, equally, right? When I go to Money Brown TV, shit, I thought the motherfucker was, shit, he might be Mexican. He might got Mexican in him. He stand up for Mexican fighters so much, my brother Money Brown, right? I don't hear him talking about these Mexican channels and these Mexican fighters and you know what I'm saying? he riding with them harder than he is most black fighters. But when I went to one of Hispanic channel, when it was mostly all Hispanic people over there in the chat on the channel, I seen it was a whole different ball game. It was a whole different ball game over there. You dig what I'm saying? They wasn't, well, we gonna keep it straight down the middle and we just gonna talk about boxing for, we just gonna be honest and talk about boxing. It don't matter what color you are. Nah, they wasn't on that. they was the furthest from that. Like I said, that shit was some motherfucking Mexican Ku Klux Klan shit. And I mean, and the host of the show wasn't even on no type of shit like that. He was on some, well, I like boxing and I'm gonna talk about boxing, whether you black, white, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. But hey, I'm gonna tell you like this. The people on his show, they felt comfortable with being on the racist shit that they was on because, of course, it was a Mexican guy that runs the channel. So when they're around their people, they're gonna be comfortable with that. Santos says, my wife is black, so I go through it. Yeah, and I'm gonna just say, like, it's a percentage. I got some Mexican homeboys that ain't on that type of shit, right? But like I said, I know how that shit is. Overall, that's the time that they on. Straight up. They don't like black people. They don't like black fighters. And when they get around their people, right? They might be fucking smiling in your face and cool with you, but when they get around their people, I see what time they on, right? And I've been knowing that shit. I just never brought that into boxing, right? But you go to one of them channels and you're going to see what type of time they on. So when your motherfuckers keep coming in here talking about you black channels this and you black channels that and you black channels, now I see why some of the black channels, right, that y'all always like to fucking go to other panels and cry about, right? I see why they like, fuck that, we sticking on code because they do it, right? And I'm the type of person, I'm the say, like, if you fuck me, I'll fuck you too. And so that's just how it's finna be. So if you like it, you like it. You fucking with me. If you don't like it, go to another fucking channel because there's other channels out there with niggas niggas is gonna fucking coon. They're gonna do all of the shit that you want them to do, but it ain't gonna be over here for real. And I'm telling y'all right now, it ain't gonna be that type of time on here. I don't give a fuck if you like it, if you watch it, what it is gonna be what it is. Picasso says Mexicans come from black and white peoples. They straight racist. Mexicans come from black and white people. He says they straight racist. Let me see. They straight racist need to leave the planet and stop playing with us. I ain't gonna say they need to leave the planet. I ain't gonna say all of that, bro. But you know, I seen what it is. You know what I'm saying? I seen what it is. And I'm gonna keep it 100. I didn't went to shows where I done been to a white dude show before, right? And he was on some, like, you could tell he was anti-black fighters. Like, he didn't have nothing good to say about a black fighter, right? But it wasn't nothing compared to what the Mexicans was on over there. It was nothing compared to that shit. And yeah, Santos, that's why I say not all the Mexican people are like that, right? But the ones who just be around their people, you know what I'm saying? They sticking to the code and they're showing you, right? They're showing you what it is. So me personally, you will never hear me fucking, oh no, Canelo this and no Canelo that, because they not finna do it for one of our black fighters. And I seen that shit. I seen that shit with my own eyes. So if you ride with me, You riding with Caleb Plant. Straight up. And Caleb Plant has what it takes to beat Canelo. And I'm not saying that just because Mexicans be on that strip, that just all out racist shit. I'm saying it because I really believe that. My man Batman in the building. What's happening with it? Eddie Reynoso. And Batman been saying this shit. He like, Key, the Mexicans, they go over there like that. I'm telling you, Key. And I'll be like, nah, and Batman can tell you, I'll be like, man, I know, but you know, when I talk boxing, I just talk boxing. I don't give a fuck what color you is. I just want to talk boxing, keep it straight down the middle. I'm gonna get on Mexicans, I'm gonna get on blacks, I'm gonna get on white fighters, you know, equally the same. You know? But nah, they don't do that. They don't do that. It's okay. Now, all of them, it was okay for Oscar Valdez, whatever he had in his system, to them, it was okay. That was perfectly fine. You dig what I'm saying? That was perfectly fine to them. It was okay for him to do that. Just because he was a Mexican fighter, they was going to stick to code. And that's just what it was. They didn't give a fuck how you felt about it. And they used every, deflection tactic that they could. They started up bringing Tank Davis. They started at bringing the Tank Davis. Oh, he beating up his girlfriends. They started bringing up the Charlos. They started doing everything they could, right? Bringing these other fighters' personal lives into it. Fighters that's never tested positive for PEDs, right? To deflect the fact that Oscar Valdez shouldn't be fighting in the ring. They did everything they could. And not one of them was like, you know what? He shouldn't be fucking fighting. Like, I don't care. Like, I don't fuck with Oscar Valdez no more. Not one of them. So I seen it with my own eyes. And they was on some pure racist shit. Nitty G says, this Mexican told me the other day, I'm only rocking with Sweet Hands because his wife is black. I rock with him because he's one of my favorite fighters. Color has nothing to do with it. Yeah, and like I said, man, I'm telling y'all. I'm telling y'all, I seen it from my own eyes. So stop fucking going to other channels talking about all these black channels. They're because whatever y'all accusing anybody else is doing it, y'all doing that shit, and y'all doing it on a much more blatant higher scale than I've seen anybody do it. Straight up and down. And like I said, I didn't mention race. I just went in there and I was just talking strictly boxing. And they was like, damn, I'm saying they seen a black man come on the panel and it was all free for all. I'm talking about let's call black people everything in the book. Yeah, that shit. Yeah, nah. So to the Mexicans that's on that type of time, fuck you and fuck your mama too. For the ones that's just gonna keep it 100, you know what I'm saying? And I don't have no problem if you ride with your people. It's nothing wrong with being Mexican and saying I'm riding with him because he's a Mexican fighter, right? I don't have nothing against no other race or no other, fighter, but I'm riding with him because he's a Mexican fighter and I'm Mexican. I'm cool with that. But when you start, you anti-black fighters and anti-black people and want to talk bullshit, just be nah. So if you on that type of time, fuck you and fuck your mama too. Fuck your daddy too. Straight up. That's just how I feel about it. But now, with that being said, you're not finna hear me on here fucking Canelo this or any other Mexican fighter. I'm not finna do it no more because I see how they talk about black fighters, and I see how they go against us and go against the grain, and they're gonna ride with their fighter, and they don't care what their fighter do, just as long as he's a Mexican fighter. I seen that shit with my own eyes. And Cesar Rodriguez, fuck you, fuck your old ass, wrinkly ass, fucking bad Asian ass grandmama. Fuck your daddy, because he a pussy just like you. And yeah, I said it. Lori said, let's go to the page and take over. See, that's what they want us to do. I ain't, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, I'm not finna, I'm not even finna go into who page it was and all that shit. I just won't let people to know. I just, you know what I'm saying, want to let people know I experienced it for myself. So it, you know, I seen it. And I told them I'm not finna, you know what I'm saying, go back and forth with no motherfucking racist ass trolls on the internet. That's just what it is. So let's talk about Andre Ward and my man Caleb Plant. Andre Ward and Caleb Plant, they trained it together. You know what I'm saying? Caleb Plant is working with Andre Ward, right? Caleb Plant is working with Andre Ward, and a lot of people starting to see it, right? And a lot of people starting to ask the question, is Canelo in trouble, right? Hold on, let me get Cesar up out of here, because this ain't the channel for your ass. You need to go over there to that channel I was just talking about. And no disrespect to dude that run the channel, because he know his boxing, and you know, to me, I don't take it like, I didn't get the vibe that he was on that shit. I just got the vibe that he was just like, this is what happens on my show, and I'm gonna just let it ride. You know, it is what it is. Boss Man says, real talk, the shit is sickening. Born and raised in Cali and seen it firsthand. Many of them are racist fucks. Oh yeah, I know. Trust me, I know. I'm on the West too. I know how they roll on the West. The East Coast and the South is a little different, but the Mexicans on the West Coast, they don't fuck with black people. Straight up and down. Most of them, the majority. Not all of them. Some of them, you know what I'm saying? A lot of them is solid. They cool. But for the majority, right? They don't fuck with black people. And that's just what it is. That's what time they on, right? If you don't fuck with me, I don't fuck with you. That's what time I'm gonna be on. Straight up. 817 Boxing Beat, what's happening with it? Steve Tiz, what's happening with it? Manchester in the building. Let me see. So let's talk about my man Andre Ward is working with my boy Caleb Plant. You know what I'm saying? And I love it. I love it, because a lot of people like, oh, he can't teach Caleb Plant nothing new. Nah, it's about that, right? It's about teaching Caleb Plant when to use what in different situations in the fight, right? Boxing is mostly mental, right? It's a thinking man's game. Smarts. That's what he's polishing up Caleb Plant on, because Caleb Plant already has all of the tools in his bag, right? He got the speed, the footwork. He has respectable punching power. He don't got power like Canelo, but he don't need to have that, right? He got good defense, good head movement, all of that, right? So where Andre Ward comes in, Andre Ward is there to school him, right, on different situations and what to do in different situations, different little techniques, right? And I'm telling y'all, a lot of people asking, does is Canelo Alvarez in trouble now? Canelo Alvarez been in trouble. Now he's just in more trouble. Because you got Andre Ward teaming up with Caleb Plant to put him in that a whole different type of mindset. And Caleb Plant is already in the right mindset, but that just elevates everything that he's able to do, putting that sauce on it. I'm telling you right now, for any of y'all that think that Canelo Alvarez is going to go out there and be able to just beat Caleb Plant and make it, no. This is going to be Canelo Alvarez's toughest fight that he's had since he fought Lara. And it might be tougher than the fight with Lara because Caleb Plant is bigger and possess more threats. I'm telling you right now, Plant, if they don't rob Caleb Plant come November the 6th, Plant is beating Canelo Alvarez. Plant is beating Canelo Alvarez. Y'all can continue to think that Canelo Alvarez is Superman if you want to. You will find out on November the 6th, right? We 2 months away from the fight. We exactly 2 months away from this fight. 2 months from now, you will find out that the man that you thought that was invincible is not invincible. You will find out that the man that you thought was invincible is not invincible. Straight up and down. You're going to find that shit out come November the 6th. We got 2 months. Don Vaughn says Caleb gonna make it look easy, similar to Mayweather. And I think that, I'm gonna be honest, I think that Canelo is a much better fighter than he was back then. But you in a whole different, much larger weight class, and you in there against a real, right, solid 168-pound fighter that has the mindset, that has the skills, and that's not going to fucking lay down for you or nobody else. I'm telling you, if they don't rob Caleb Plant, and I think it's a good chance of us seeing, you know, a fair scorecard, right? Because Canelo Alvarez is fighting under the PBC banner. So I think it might be a good chance, unless they have something in the contracts, right? Unless they have something in the contracts to where, you know, Canelo, because we know that Canelo demanded a lot of shit in those contracts. We don't know everything that he demanded. Unless they had something in the contract to where Canelo got to pick his choice of judges, right? Now, that could have been possible. Canelo, you know what I'm saying, he could have had in the contract that the zone get to pick whatever judges that they use, right? They get to pick from a pool of judges that they use. That's a strong possibility. But if that ain't it, I'm telling you, Canelo Alvarez is not going to beat Caleb Plant unless they rob him. And I'm making my prediction. Y'all can take it how you want to. Canelo Alvarez is not going to beat Caleb Plant. That's my opinion. Right? That's my opinion. Jay Triller, go ahead and smoke on that. Smoke on that. Now make another account and come back and troll again. You fucking weirdo. So, like I said, right now, I'm telling you, you can think what you want to think, say what you want to say. Canelo Alvarez is not beating Caleb Plant come November 6th. Let me see what some of y'all talking about. J8, what's happening with it? Picasso says Canelo gonna be stronger than Plant, and he's cycling off PEDs. I'm not finna say that Canelo is gonna have no effect of PEDs. I'm not gonna accuse him of using nothing. And the reason why is because they are having like 10 weeks of Vada testing for this camp. They having like 10 weeks of Vada testing for this camp. So we know that Vada, right? They hold up their end of integrity, right? They hold up their end of integrity. So if you get caught, Vada gonna let everybody know that you got caught on some shit. Now it's up to the sanctioning bodies in these, you know what I'm saying, these promoters and everybody that, you know, go if they're gonna go through with the event or not. So, you know, I trust the testing that they have. I'm not gonna say that Canelo Alvarez is on nothing. And I'm not going to say it's going to be impossible for him to be on something. I'm not going to accuse him of that, right? So with everything straight down the middle on the even playing field, Caleb Plant is going to beat Canelo Alvarez. And some of y'all are going to be in shock because some of y'all, right, you are Canelo Alvarez fanatics. You don't think it's no possible way and there's nobody on this planet Earth that can beat Canelo Alvarez. Some of y'all really, really think that, and I see that shit now. And it's crazy to me. Some of y'all really think you've made yourself believe that Canelo Alvarez is unbeatable. Like, y'all really think that. And that shit is mind-blowing to me that some of y'all really think that Canelo Alvarez is unbeatable. The way that I listen to some of y'all talk about Canelo is crazy. And I'm a Canelo fan. I like Canelo. I think that he's highly skilled. But some of y'all think that he's just unbeatable. The Canelo that I seen in the Daniel Jacobs fight, he was beatable, very beatable. The Canelo that I seen in the Triple G fight, he was beatable. The Canelo that I seen in the fight with Sergey Kovalev, that Canelo was very beatable. So now because he's, once again, like I continue to say, now because he beat Rocky Fielding, Abner Yildirim, fucking Callum Smith, and the Billy Joe Saunders, he's unbeatable now? Like, are you serious? Are y'all really serious? So now that he beat them dudes, okay fighters, ain't nothing special about that. Well, I'm not even gonna say okay. The fighters that I named range from less than okay, right? Range from, like, you know what I'm saying, barely average. The fighters that I named range from barely average to pretty good, right? Nobody on that fucking list that I named is special in no type of way. Ain't nobody on that list that I named has one attribute that they just fucking special, just better than everybody else in the game at. They don't have and nobody on that list is an A-level fighter. B- at best. Everybody that I named on that list is B- at best. So ranging from not good at all to, you know, B- is you're good. Not good at all to pretty good. You know what I'm saying? Not very good, not excellent, not great, not one of the top fighters. No, none of that. Pound for pound, none of that shit. So you're meaning to tell me because he beat those opponents, y'all are acting like this man is unbeatable. He just went out there and he just did some amazing task. Nah. Now, like I told y'all before in the past, what made it look amazing, right? What made it look amazing is because the fighters in his weight divisions, right? Those other fighters around those weight divisions where he was moving up to or staying at, They weren't doing shit. That's what made it look like what Canelo was doing, right? It made it look like that he was unstoppable and that he was great, because the rest of the dudes, they was fucking just stagnant. They weren't doing nothing at all. They weren't fighting no tough competition. They weren't doing nothing. So if you compare what Canelo was doing compared to Jamal Charlo, Demetrius Andrade, Triple G, fucking Chris Eubanks, goddamn, if you want to go to light heavyweight, Kovalev and Bitterbeef and those dudes, right? None of them were doing shit at all. So if you compare to what Canelo was doing compared to what they was doing, yeah. But don't let that shit fool you, because he wasn't doing nothing great. If you compare what Canelo was doing to what Errol Spence has done, even though Errol Spence has been in the same weight division, well, then you make that comparison and then you see, well, Canelo actually ain't doing shit great. Canelo ain't doing nothing more spectacular. It ain't even doing it as spectacular as Terrence Crawford. A lot of people like to, you know what I'm saying, talk about Terrence Crawford, who he's beating and what he's doing. Yeah, he's knocking everybody out, but who is it? Well, Canelo is not doing nothing even as great as what, or as good as what Terrence Crawford is doing. If you look at if you compare the caliber of fighters and the list on the resume. If anybody thinks that Billy Joe Saunders is a great fighter, well, then go back in the archives and show me where he looked great at ever since he popped dirty for PEDs. I mean, when you fucking, you know what I'm saying, when you struggle, when you look at mediocre against guys like Matthew Macklin, and then you go in the very next fight and fight Canelo Alvarez, and I'm supposed to think that you good enough to beat Canelo when you were just look fucking just like an average fighter against Matthew Macklin and the fighter that you fought before that and the fighter that you fought before that. So I'm supposed to think that all of a sudden you're supposed to offer PEDs with drug testing, so no PEDs can be involved, right? You're supposed to fucking just hop out of a goddamn fucking hyperbaric chamber and be fucking Mike Tyson at 86. Come on, man. Stop. But these are the opponents that you guys are running around here, right? Being fucking Canelo Alvarez fanatics, thinking that he's unbeatable because he showed you that he could beat those guys, right? Even go back to Daniel Jacobs. He fought Daniel Jacobs a few years ago, right? He didn't even look spectacular in the Daniel Jacobs fight. And Daniel Jacobs just recently showed you that he actually really should have lost to Gabe Rosado. Gabe Rosado is a certified B-level fighter. Make it make sense. Make this shit make sense to me. Make that shit make sense to me. I don't understand it. Y'all have to tell me, right, what Canelo Alvarez is showing you guys to make you guys think that he's just unbeatable. Brown on Boxing says Canelo is not a great fighter. He is more than likely a dirty fighter who is protected by this corrupt system. I believe Caleb Plant is much better than Canelo. I believe that Caleb Plant is a better fighter, especially when certain styles make fights, and I think that he's a better fighter, especially in this stylistic matchup. But I'm not gonna say that Canelo is a dirty fighter. You know, I'm not gonna condemn Canelo on that shit until he get caught again, and then we know he's a dirty fighter. So I don't like to be able to think something. I like to, when a motherfucker get caught a second time, then I like to be able to say, okay, I know now. but I just want to know where y'all come off thinking this man is invincible. And I keep it 100, right? Now, when you talk about can he beat a Jamal Charlo, I think that he beats Jamal Charlo because Jamal Charlo, he gets hit way too much. He not gonna move. He gonna be in front of you. He gonna use his jab. And Jamal Charlo is more of a power type of fighter that's gonna be in there. He gonna get hit. You know what I'm saying? Caleb Plant is not that type of fighter. He's more of a finesse fighter. So I think that Jamal Charlo is a stylistic matchup that favors Canelo, right? So yeah, I think that Demetrius Andrade, you know what I'm saying, he gives Canelo a whole bunch of problems, but Demetrius Andrade is a front runner. You know what I'm saying? He only good for the first like 5 rounds. And then a lot of the shit that makes him so dangerous, it slows down a lot. And he don't have no punching power after like the first 5 rounds. And like a lot of his shit just slows down a lot. But I think he still give Canelo a lot of problems. And so, like I said, Canelo looks great if you comparing what he's doing next to what these other guys around his weight division is doing. But other than that, ain't nothing that he's done makes him look fucking great to me, or well, I'm gonna say ain't nothing that he's done makes him look unbeatable to me. Santos says Caleb Plant is not the guy that beat Canelo. It's more likely David Benavidez will be this guy to stop Canelo. I don't think so. I don't think so because see, this is the thing with David Benavidez. You guys got to bank on. You guys got to bank on David Benavidez going in there and being able to stop Canelo, just like you said. You said David Benavidez will be the guy to stop Canelo. None of them dudes, you can't beat Canelo if you think that you can go in there, walk forward, throw a whole bunch of punches, and you think that you're going to stop him. Styles make matchups. David Benavidez does not have the right style to beat Canelo Alvarez. And it's why? Because he don't move enough. He throws a whole bunch of punches. Canelo Alvarez's defense is too seasoned for David Benavidez to think that he can go in there and just throw a whole bunch of punches and continue to walk down Canelo and continue to walk him down and throw a million punches. But on the other end, Canelo's still able to hit him with anything and everything that he wants to hit David Benavidez with because David Benavidez don't have no defense. That is the key factor right there. You're not going to be able to go in there and walk down Canelo Alvarez and just walk and throw a million fucking punches, right? You're going to have to change your game plan up because you're not going to be able to take punishment, right? That Canelo Alvarez is going to roll off, block all that shit that you throwing. When he throw, everything is with bad intentions. You're not going to be able to get hit with the same thing, right? Fighting Canelo Alvarez that you was able to get hit with all of your other fights. Because one thing about David Benavidez, everybody that steps in the ring with him, they're able to hit him at will as he hitting them. The only thing is that he hits a lot harder than they do, and he throw a million more punches than they do. So, they're able to get away with it. With Canelo Alvarez, it's a whole way totally different stylistic type of fight. And that fight into David Benavidez brush up a whole lot on his footwork and on his defense. He can't fuck with Canelo Alvarez right now. Like I said, Caleb Plant, out of all them fighters that I've talked about, Caleb Plant is the one to beat Canelo Alvarez. He has all of the tools and stylistically to beat Canelo Alvarez. Canelo Alvarez is not invincible. And let me read this super chat. Hold on. Pull it up. Well, I gotta find it. My man FBA 7B1, he says they stay on code. We better learn how to do the same thing if we gonna survive. Man, I feel you. I feel you. And salute to you in that super chat. FBA 7B1. Salute to you. J8, what's happening with it? He say Benavidez get hit too much. Yeah, I'm breaking these fights down from a stylistic matchup, right? That's it. So I'm telling you right now, if you think that he gonna be able to go in there and fuck with Caleb Plant and beat Caleb Plant, like, cause some of y'all just think, oh, he gonna go in there and Caleb Plant gonna fold and he gonna run through Caleb Plant. He knocking out Caleb Plant and Caleb Plant ain't the one. I'm telling you, Caleb Plant is the one. And on November 6th, you gonna see it. J.A. said Benavidez was losing some of them rounds against Ellis. Yeah. And Ellis, the only thing that saved Benavidez in that Ellis fight is that Ellis didn't have no power. If Ellis had power, like, Canelo would have got beat that fight. But like I said, I mean, not Canelo, Benavidez would have got beat in that fight if Ellis had power. Ellis didn't have no power. I'm telling you, no man is going to be able to get hit by Canelo Alvarez like David Benavidez gets hit by a lot of his opponents. I'm telling you, if you think that he can go in there and fight that same style that he fights against everybody else and just overwhelm them, if you think he can go in there against Canelo and do that shit, I'm telling you, you're very wrong, because he's gonna end up in a coma. I don't care how good he can take a punch or whatever. If you get hit as many times by Canelo Alvarez that you do against a lot of your opponents that you're in the ring with, David Benavidez, and I fuck with David Benavidez. You know what I'm saying? Heavy. I love David Benavidez because I love the fact that he's willing and he's able and he's more than willing to get in the ring with any and everybody. He don't duck no smoke. So I ride with David Benavidez heavy, but I've just got to be realistic. And he knows it. He knows it. He even said, like, y'all trying to pit him against Canelo Alvarez, right? But he came out and said himself, he says, look, I'm still young. Like, I don't need to be thrown in there with Canelo Alvarez right now. He says, I'm still young. He says, I know that it's plenty enough time for me to where, you know, I can continue to still get better and get a Canelo Alvarez fight. He says, that's why I want to fight Jamal Charlo, and I want to prove my worthiness before I get in the ring with Canelo Alvarez. David Benavidez is smart. He probably know I'm not in no rush to get in there with him right now. But, right, so he's smart. He knows. So, but y'all trying to throw him in there like, oh, he'll just run. Nah, man, I'm telling you, he got to polish up some things before he can get in there and beat Canelo Alvarez. And I picked him and I picked Plant to beat him too, just because of the fact is that if you go really research and look at David Benavidez, certain fighters he has a problem with, and he's gonna have a problem with. Chick in the building, he says, salute to you, man. I appreciate you coming through in that super chat. I appreciate you, man, coming through showing love. He says, I think Caleb needs to be quiet and let the fight happen. 10 mil is a lot of money to lose just to get a point across. He's right, but bring it up later. Plant will win. And I think that you are speaking towards the fact that you heard rumors that Canelo Alvarez is threatening to pull out of the fight if Caleb Plant keeps accusing him of stuff. Well, I don't believe it. I don't believe it. You're not finna pull out of a fight where you're gonna make this much money, right? Canelo Alvarez, and we don't even know if Canelo actually said that. You know, I mean, stories come out all the time that's complete bullshit. Canelo probably never even said that, but if Canelo did say it or somebody from Canelo's team said that shit, it's a bluff. Ain't no way he gonna pull out of a fight because he's getting accused of some shit, right? Canelo Alvarez been getting accused of PEDs. Plant ain't said nothing that hasn't been said for a long time, and I mean that's just a bluff. If he said it. Mike Grimes says, you all remember Canelo Alvarez is not a big dude. He's just short and stocky and moving up them weight classes. You might not be fighting the top best, but they're not total bums. Yeah, you're right. You're right, Mike Grimes. Blitz Bone says size does matter. It's about the power behind the fist shotgun. Well, if it was about the power behind the fist, right? Pernell Sweet Pea Whitaker and Floyd Mayweather Jr. would never been as good as they were. And Paulie Malignaggi, if it was about the power in the fist, Paulie Malignaggi and Timothy Bradley wouldn't have never even been able to turn pro. Now, let me say that again. If it was about the power in the fist, Paulie Malignaggi and Timothy Bradley would never even been able to step in the ring as a professional fighter. So full night elite said he might pull out that boy a diva. Now he might be a diva. Fight night elite. He might be a diva, but I'll tell you like this, right? I'll tell you like this. He ain't no goddamn fool. He ain't finna leave all that money on the table. He might be a diva, but he ain't no fool. And Caleb Plant said some shit, and it really let me realize that all of the stuff all of the things that we've been hearing about Canelo for the years, oh, he's a diva, he tries to do this, and like Caleb Plant really, this whole situation with Plant let everybody see that it actually is the truth. And when they asked Caleb Plant, like, you know what I'm saying, I forgot what the exact words were, but he says that Canelo Alvarez learned doing this negotiations with me that he wasn't somebody that he could just fucking run over like he do with everybody else. So he let you know that he tried any and everything that he could to get an advantage going into this fight, but he quickly found out that Caleb Plant wasn't no bitch that he could just fucking, you know what I'm saying, walk over like a doormat. It was a different ball game when it came to Caleb Plant. Caleb Plant says, yeah, the money is good, but before that, my integrity mean much more than money is. I'm not going to fucking lay down, let you walk over me just because, oh, I might be able to get a big payday. And see, that's the problem with some of these guys that get in the ring with Canelo Alvarez. They willing to take the fight on 4 weeks notice. They willing to, you know what I'm saying, let him agree to certain catch weights. They willing to let him agree to certain dehydration clauses. They willing to let him do any and everything that he wants to do, just as long as they get the payday that they're looking for. And he found out with Caleb Plant, it was a different ball game, whole different ball game with Caleb Plant. Southpaw, you actually came in here and I see what you are. You one of them fucking Canelo fanatics that think that Canelo's gonna walk straight through Caleb Plant. Well, after November the 6th, I want you to come back to this show, mark it down on your calendar. Don't forget, come back to this show because I'm gonna be right here, right? And I want you to have that same energy that you just came in here with right now. Straight up and down. I want you to have that same energy that you just came in here right now with. You know what I'm saying? So all you Canelo fanatics that think that Canelo's unbeatable, he can't be touched. He's fucking Roy Jones, Oscar De La Hoya, Julio Cesar Chavez, Mike Tyson in 86, Riddick Bowe, Lennox Lewis, all put into one with a little bit of Salvador Sanchez, right? Hector Camacho Macho mixed in. All of them mixed into one. He's invincible. He can walk on water and he can swim across the ocean without a tank. Canelo Alvarez. For all of y'all fanatic fans that think that, come back in here the night of November 6th. Well, I'm probably gonna go to the fight. So come here after November the 6th, and I want you to show up with that same energy. Matter of fact, I'm gonna drop the link, and I want you to hop on the channel, right? You ain't even got to show your face and show up with the same energy because I'm dropping links. Fight Night Elite say he gonna come back crying after Plant put them things on him. Now, see, the thing is they'll talk big, right, beforehand, but then they're not gonna even show up. When the time comes, it's gonna be the chat gonna be real empty. When that time comes, them chat gonna be real empty. Mark Ambrose says, I think Caleb should keep talking and keep shining a light on these corrupt cheaters and drug cheats and sanctioning bodies with their over racist practices, right? It's called fortitude. Learn it. Mark Ambrose, salute to you, my brother. Salute. And I appreciate you in that super chat, man, coming through, showing love. And that's real. That's real. Whatever y'all want to think, that's the real deal what my man just said. Caleb Plant should continue to shine the light. And he let y'all know, yeah, they don't want me to say this. They want me to shut up, but I don't give a fuck what they want. Because I'm going to let y'all know what's going on in boxing and what most people not talking about. Because the ones that refuse to talk about it, they probably the ones using themselves. Arthur Soto says, I'm a fan of Canelo because his style. If Plant beats him, it will slow him down. But if Canelo wins, he will be Thanos. I don't have no problem with that statement, man. I was a fan of, I've been a fan of Canelo because I think that he's a great fighter. I like his style. I think that he's improved. He's vastly improved, over the years. He's continued to improve, but at the end of the day, he hasn't done nothing great to me. Like the fighters that he's beaten, he ain't done nothing great. Like, let me say this, right? Let's name the fighters that he's beaten, right? Hold on. I'm going to pull up Canelo Alvarez, and I'm going to just name some of the fighters that he's beaten, and let's just look over the last 6 fights. We're just going to look over his last 6 opponents, right? And this way, it's going to make why I'm saying what I'm saying much clearer. So, let me see. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, his last 6 opponents. Rocky Fielding. Do I think, and I'm gonna use Jamal Charlo. I'm gonna use Jamal Charlo, right? I'm gonna use Jamal Charlo, and I'm gonna use Triple G and Jamal Charlo, right? 2 completely different style fighters. I'm gonna use Triple G and Jamal Charlo, right? So Rocky Fielding. Do I think that Triple G or Jamal Charlo could have moved up in weight and knocked out Rocky Fielding? Absolutely, I do. Absolutely. I think that Triple G or Jamal Charlo in 2018, if they wanted to, they could have, either one could have moved up to 168 pounds and stopped Rocky Fielding. Daniel Jacobs. Well, we know that Triple G already had beat Daniel Jacobs at the time, had a close fight with Daniel Jacobs. Do I think that Jamal Charlo can beat Daniel Jacobs? Absolutely do. Absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt, I think that Jamal Charlo can beat Daniel Jacobs, right? And I'm just using Triple G and Jamal Charlo as examples, right? Sergey Kovalev, the way that Sergey Kovalev was fighting in that Canelo Alvarez fight, to where you can clearly see he wasn't putting no power on his punches. All he was doing is throwing a jab, jab, and he wasn't even throwing a power jab. You can see that he went in there to basically lay down and throw that fight because he was getting the biggest payday of his whole career. Even though he had been in big fights, he was getting the biggest payday of his whole career. Do I think that Jamal Charlo could have moved up and beat Sergey Kovalev? Do I think that Triple G could have moved up and beat Sergey Kovalev? Absolutely do. And knocked him out. Because I would say that Jamal Charlo and Triple G got more punching power than Andre Ward. Now, are they the fighter that Andre Ward is? Fuck no, but they got more punching power. Do I think that Triple G or Jamal Charlo could have moved up and beat Callum Smith? A guy in Callum Smith that had just, right? He just should have took an L versus John Ryder. John Ryder beat Callum Smith to fight before he went in there and fought Canelo Alvarez. He just got a gift decision because it was over there in the UK. Do I think that John Ryder could have beat Callum Smith? I mean, do I think that Jamal Charlo or Triple G could have went and beat Callum Smith? Absolutely. Absolutely, I do. Abner Yildirim. I'm gonna make that one short. Triple G and Jamal Charlo knocks out Abner Yildirim. Straight up and down, without a shadow of a doubt. Both of them go in there and knock out Abner Yildirim, right? Billy Joe Saunders. Do I think that Triple G would have beat Billy Joe Saunders if they had ever fought? Yeah, you would have stopped him. Triple G would have stopped Billy Joe Saunders if they had a fought back when they were supposed to have fought. Do I think that Jamal Charlo can beat Billy Joe Saunders? I absolutely think that Jamal Charlo can beat Billy Joe Saunders. So, with that being said, I just named Canelo Alvarez's last 6 opponents. And I compared Canelo Alvarez's last 6 opponents and matched them up with 2 other guys that's around the same weight class as Canelo Alvarez. So ain't nobody that he fought in his last 6, right, that I don't think them other dudes can do. So with that being said, what special is Canelo Alvarez really doing that's making y'all think that he's unstoppable? Ain't nothing about those opponents that I named is special. Nothing. Not one of those opponents on that list is special. HMG Entertainment says Caleb got the best chance at beating them his last 6 opponents, though. Yeah, but now, don't get me wrong. I'm not telling you that it's nothing that Caleb Plant has done in his last 6 opponents to make him look great. And does Caleb Plant last 6 opponents compare to Canelo Alvarez last 6 opponent? No. But I'm not on here acting like that Caleb Plant is invincible. That Caleb Plant can walk on water and swim across the ocean without a tank on. Y'all are acting like that Canelo Alvarez is that man. Right? So, yeah, he's doing his thing. You got to give Canelo Alvarez credit for what he's doing, but he's not doing nothing that nobody else couldn't have done. Canelo Alvarez is not accomplishing any task that no other fighter, right, at the A level couldn't have done. Same shit I say about the same shit that I say about Terrence Crawford. If you look at Terrence Crawford's resume from 140 to 147, he ain't did shit that Errol Spence couldn't have done. Yeah, he did it. The only thing that he did is he actually did it, right? But I wouldn't fucking look at that and say, oh, well, Errol Spence could have never did that. It's the same shit with Canelo Alvarez. Now, I commend Canelo for actually fighting and staying active like a lot of these opponents don't, like a lot of these fighters don't. He's staying active and he's doing it while the rest of them sitting on the sideline watching. But I mean, you know, Blitz Bang says the only way to find out is in the ring. Yeah, and you're right about that. You saying that he's not, nobody's saying he's unstoppable. Everybody's saying look at the performance. I mean, the performance against who? Against Abner Yildirim that was fucking literally stood there like a fucking mannequin and let Canelo Alvarez punch on him. Like seriously, the man literally stood in front of him and let Canelo Alvarez punch on him. Or Rocky Fielding that did the same exact thing, stood there like a fucking 6 foot plus mannequin and let Canelo Alvarez punch on him. Or Colin Smith that stood there like a fucking, you know what I'm saying, mannequin, gave very little movement and let Canelo Alvarez punch on him without throwing back a lot of shots. Are we talking about him? Or let's talk about Billy Joe. Billy Joe, right? A lot of people were saying Billy Joe was outboxing Canelo Alvarez before Canelo cut off the ring and started catching him. But Billy Joe, I'm going to tell y'all one thing about Billy Joe, right? I'm going to tell you something about Billy Joe Saunders, right? Billy Joe Saunders lost that fight before he even got in the ring. And I said that leading up to the fight. When Billy Joe Saunders was making jokes and like, Canelo, I'm not even training hard. Like when he was trying to troll and act like, I'm going to just get in there and lay down and let Canelo beat me. He already had lost the fight, right? At that point in time. But he showed that he lost the fight to me when he started complaining about the ring size. When he started letting everybody know that he needed a huge size ring, and if he didn't get a certain size ring, he wasn't going to fight. And Canelo Alvarez came out and he said, I don't give a fuck what ring he fights in. I'll fight him in the parking lot. At that point in time, he just let me know more of what I already knew, that he was going to get his ass beat, right? Because he was worried about the ring size and he was worried about everything that he shouldn't have been worried about, right? Because he didn't have confidence and he was showing that he was scared of Canelo Alvarez before he got in the ring. He was already letting you know, I need a huge ass ring so I can move around and so I can run from this dude because I don't want to get hit by him. He already showed you he was scared. He lost the fight before he got in there. If y'all don't see the difference between these dudes and Caleb Plant, well, only thing I can tell you is I'm not here to try to convince you. I'm not here to try to make you think no different than what you already think. But I'm here to tell you is just keep that same energy come November 6th. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. And exactly, Don Vaughn, he says Saunders lacks discipline, something Caleb called out. Exactly. And then Saunders, he drink a lot, right? He drink a lot. He blows up in weight. He don't stay in shape. He don't live no fighter's lifestyle. All of those things are the opposite of what Caleb Plant does and what Caleb Plant stands for. So, I mean, if y'all don't see the difference, you'll see come November the 6th. Y'all hit my like button. If you haven't hit my like button yet, make sure that you hit my like button. Please hit the like button. That's it. That's all y'all got to do. Yeah. I mean, y'all hit my like button. That's pretty much it for today. I'm gonna leave it at that note. I can't wait to November the 6th. I can't wait till October the 9th. And I will be starting to talk about, because we about a month out now, almost a month. So month out, and real soon I'm gonna be, we're gonna be cooking on this Wilder and Fury situation. I just haven't really talked about it because I don't want to get too excited about it and then Fury pulls some bullshit and then we don't get to fight. But with that being said, make sure before we get up out of here, hit my like button. I appreciate everybody, the real ones, right? Because the ones that come fuck with me, y'all the real ones. Y'all know I'm going to give it to you raw. So I appreciate everybody that come through, show love and support to the channel. Continue to come through and show love. We will be back. Yeah, y'all already know how I do. There you go, talking that boxing again. And yeah, I'm gone. Hit my like button on the way out.